Hi guys, welcome back to Outside the Ropes. I'm your host of Outside the Ropes as always, Matthew Murr. We are now live. That's right, we are live here on Google Hangout on this Monday evening just before, well, let's take a look here. We're about 2.5 hours away from tonight's Monday Night Raw. We're live here still in my home. We're not in the studio just yet. I'm getting sick of this. There's cameras everywhere. There's recording equipment. There's everything else here. I blame Catherine, our head of production. I'm only kidding. Anyway, welcome back to the show, guys. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Murr. Welcome back to the Ropes. Now, we haven't been on the air for the last few days, and I want to tell you the reason why. We weren't on the air Thursday and Friday. I was called away to a personal family matter, and I was not available to do the show. Tony, as you know, is still away working and with his job, so that's the reason why we weren't on the air Thursday and Friday. I do apologize about that, guys, but we're back here tonight for more discussion just before we head on into tonight's Monday Night Raw here on Outside the Ropes. Now, we did put a tweet out today asking you for some questions for tonight's show, which we have got for you, which we're going to bring to you very shortly. But the biggest news is coming out of the world of wrestling in the last few days. Well, probably the biggest story is about the retirement of AJ Lee. But we're going to talk about that very shortly. We're going to talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw. We've got some other news regarding Samoa Joe. We've got some news regarding Jim Ross. And also some interesting stories regarding Vince McMahon being pissed off with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Interesting. If you're watching this live here on the Google Hangout stream, you can get involved on the show here right now. You can go to our Twitter account at Outside the Rope, which I have the iPad here in front of me. If you want to get involved with us by email, you can certainly do that, outsidetheropes@yahoo.com. And also on our Twitter account, or sorry, Facebook account, Outside the Ropes. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up and like the page on our Facebook account. Now, let's get straight into the news from tonight's show. Monday Night Raw tonight, guys, is going to be an interesting show on the tail of last week's chaotic night, the night after WrestleMania. Monday Night Raw last week was a superb show where Brock Lesnar went absolutely chaotic, as we all know, where he beat up a cameraman, beat up JBL and Booker T, more injured him, beat up J&J Security, tried to get a title match, which didn't happen, and the most enjoyable thing for me was he beat the absolute hell out of Michael Cole. But Brock Lesnar, as you all know, is suspended, storyline-wise, suspended. But he will be back on TV very soon. But for what we'll come to SmackDown from last week, the title match at the next pay-per-view Extreme Rules would be Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight title. But for what we hear today, sneaking in the back door of this title match coming up in about 3 weeks' time, we may have this match as a triple threat match with Roman Reigns getting himself into the mix for the WWE World Heavyweight title. For what we hear today, guys, they're going to be doing something, maybe getting Roman Reigns involved in the storyline tonight on Raw, which I'm looking forward to seeing because I know one person in particular who's looking forward to this, and that's our head of production, Catherine, because she was disappointed that Roman Reigns didn't win the world title at WrestleMania. We do have a lot of fans who watch this show, listen to this show, and they're disappointed that Reigns didn't win the title. But this could be a triple threat match coming into Extreme Rules. For what we hear as well, it could be possibly a no-holds-barred match, which would be quite an interesting affair with Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns for the world title. So you never know what's going to happen with WWE. But we're going to tune in the Raw tonight to see what happens. Also, with this Brock Lesnar storyline, to be expected tonight, guys, that Michael Cole could be sitting at the announcer table tonight with a neck brace on, which is all part of the storyline. Also, you'll get an update from JBL and Booker T, as they all are scheduled to be there on tonight's Monday Night Raw. Also on tonight's Raw, we've heard today that there could be 2 returns to television tonight. A return of a WWE diva, as in Tamina Snuka, who has been out injured for a while. So Tamina Snuka could be reappearing back on TV tonight, because we hear that she's actually backstage right now at the arena. We also hear that former general manager Brad Maddox has been spotted in the airport and also in the local area today for Raw tonight. So will Brad Maddox return to television tonight? We don't know. We know he was a fan access there recently for WrestleMania weekend. So Brad Maddox could be on his way back to TV. We don't know. So looking forward to tonight's Raw regarding that. I've got some questions here regarding tonight's Raw, regarding Roman Reigns. Paul sent us a wee tweet this afternoon saying, is Roman Reigns going to get thrown into the mix tonight for the title? I hope so. I really do hope so. But just reading through his tweet here. Yeah, I hope so, because I think it'd be a great match. Those guys, triple threat, leading into the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in 3 weeks' time. So I think we mentioned on the show before why Roman Reigns didn't win the title. Apparently, they had a meeting about an hour or so before the main event happened at WrestleMania. Reigns was due to win the title at Mania, but they changed their minds at the last moment, where they decided that Rollins should cash in his briefcase, and all three apparently were in agreement. But apparently Roman Reigns was not overly pleased because he invited his entire family to ringside to see him win the world title, and for it to be changed at the last moment, apparently he wasn't very happy about this. But would you be really happy if it was changed at the last moment? I know I certainly wouldn't be. But on Raw tonight, I'm looking forward to it. There's going to be a couple of other things on Raw I'm looking forward to tonight as well. What's going to be the reaction to the breaking news that has been released by WWE over the last few days regarding the retirement of WWE diva AJ Lee, the wife of CM Punk, who everybody knows that by now. Moving on to this subject regarding AJ Lee, the news broke the other day that she has now decided to retire from the ring. Personally, guys, I don't think it's a shock, to be honest with you. A lot of people were saying that AJ's days were numbered in WWE, but the announcement was made the other day that AJ is now officially retired from the WWE in-ring action. Now, people have been asking and bombarding AJ on Twitter over the last lot of days, saying to her, why have you retired? Why, she thanked the fans on Twitter. She's thanked everything for her whole career. Even her husband, CM Punk, sent out a tweet just saying, hashtag, thank you, AJ. So AJ Lee has officially retired. Our Twitter account, we released the news the other day as well. And our Twitter account went pretty bad. We're pretty crazy as well, because we've got a lot of AJ Lee fans on our Twitter account, especially on our email as well. I've got an email actually here from, let's have a look here and see. So I'll find that email here in front of me. I do apologize, I'm trying to find this email for you here on the iPad. There it is there. Yeah, Stephanie says, what's your views on AJ retiring? Why do you think she really retired? To be honest with you, I don't really know. Well, everybody seems down to what happened to CM Punk. There could be a lot of different reasons why she retired. Was she fed up with the schedule? Is she injured? We don't know. But for all I know personally is that it could be down to what happened to CM Punk. I really don't know. But there's not very much that's come out on this story, apart from the fact that she's just quit. People were saying once Punk left, her days were numbered in the company. So again, I'll just have to keep an eye on the story and try and dig at the story on why she really has stepped away from the ring. So there you go. But yeah, people were obviously tweeting us and then asking for a reason. So guys, in closing this subject regarding AJ Lee, I think she's a great wee worker. She was entertaining, especially when she was doing the whole crazy chick gimmick, especially when she was the general manager of Raw a few while back there. But yeah, I mean, AJ Lee was a great in-ring worker. Her goal was to be at WrestleMania or competing at WrestleMania or on the highest level as she can as a female wrestler. So she's done that. A lot of people are saying she's retiring because of CM Punk, but only time will tell. So, but it's sad to see her go, really, because she was a great in-ring worker, and a lot of people were saying now that she's retired, they were surprised to see her getting the win over the Bells at WrestleMania, especially if she was going out, knowing that she was going to leave the company. But it's wrestling for you guys. You just never know what's around the corner. Some more news has come out today, the last few days, which has been quite interesting. As you all know, our favorite wrestler here in the show, yeah, right, John Cena is now the new United States champion. We've heard stories in the last few days that apparently the WWE are working on a new design for a new United States title belt. Now, we put this tweet out the other day, and people were saying, oh, no, Cena's going to get his own belt again, the way he used to do, like he did when he was the US champ before. But for what we hear, they're actually changing the plate, the main belt itself, to make it look more modern, as they say. I don't know, but apparently they're changing this belt to make it look different. As you all know, they changed the Intercontinental title back. They've changed the tag team titles. They've changed the WWE World Heavyweight title now into one belt. But at the end of the day, the news is going around that apparently the belt designers now working on a new design for a new United States title belt. Are we going to proceed to back the spinner US title? No, never going to happen. We're just checking through our Twitter account here, guys, as we are live here on the air. Another story has just come out in the last few days, which you all heard. I think it's tonight. Is it tonight? After tonight's Raw, I think it is. Chris Jericho's doing his podcast on the WWE Network. Talk is Jericho. If you haven't listened to Talk is Jericho yet, make sure you go on the iTunes and download it. It's a good podcast. He's a lot of great guests on the show. But everybody knows that Stone Cold Steve Austin has had his podcast on the WWE Network. He's had Vince McMahon and also Triple H on the podcast. Now, the news is coming out of WWE at the moment is that Vince McMahon is extremely pissed off with Stone Cold Steve Austin regarding the podcast he done with Triple H recently. And the reason why he is pissed off with Steve Austin is because of the questions he was asking Triple H on the live podcast. For example, why isn't China in the Hall of Fame? Will she ever go into the Hall of Fame? Which obviously led to then China coming on to YouTube and doing her videos and accusing Triple H of abusing her and beating her whenever they were in a relationship many years ago when China was still working for the WWF back in the day. Apparently Vince McMahon said this has got hunting a lot of bad press, and he's pointing the finger directly at Steve Austin for asking inappropriate questions. Now, you all know Steve Austin's been doing a show long before it went on to the WWE Network, but Stone Cold has yet to respond to this. We haven't heard any more on it, but all we know is that Vince McMahon is extremely pissed off with Steve Austin regarding the podcast recently there on the WWE Network, not so long ago with Triple H. But Talk is Jericho's coming onto the network, which I'm looking forward to because I do enjoy Chris Jericho's podcast. Some interesting guests, some interesting questions. And his guest on the podcast is going to be, oh God Almighty, I'm not looking forward to this, John Cena. That's right, John Cena is going to be the guest on Talk is Jericho on the WWE Network. God, they'll get your $9.99 worth for that, believe me. So don't forget to check that out, Talk is Jericho. I will watch it because it is on the network. I will watch it to see. But for what we hear, this interview is going to be all basically company-based, so you're not going to get any sort of, are you going to turn heel, John Cena questions, more likely. But Jericho has openly come out and said that it's going to be done his way. So what's going to happen on this, I don't know. Just going to try and keep an eye on it. Make sure you check it out on the WWE Network. And of course, it's only for $9.99. That's right, $9.99. But we're not going to sing that song on the show here. Also, some news come out today, which we're reading through there before I come on the air tonight. Jim Ross could be returning back to television. He hasn't said when or where or who for or whatever, but he has teased that JR could be coming back on the television. Now, could this be for Global Force Wrestling? We don't know, because Global Force Wrestling did announce that they will be making TV tapings very soon in Las Vegas. Will JR be going to Global Force Wrestling? Could he be going back? Well, he won't be going back to WWE because, I can't see him going back to WWE. It won't be TNA either because we can't afford him. But is it going to be Global Force Wrestling? Japan Pro Wrestling? Don't know. But he has teased on his Twitter account as well, and one of his blogs as well recently, that he could be returning back to television. So stay tuned for more news on that there regarding Jim Ross coming back to television. I hope he does, because I really enjoy Jim Ross on the mic. Nobody calls a wrestling match better than good old JR. Another bit of news as well, guys. You all know we've been talking about Samoa Joe here on the show for the last few weeks. Samoa Joe is openly out in the press today. The last few days, saying that he would love to have a match with Brock Lesnar. Now, a lot of Samoa Joe fans out there would be, reading through Twitter here this evening, and a lot of Samoa Joe fans have been saying that they'd love to see that match, Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. It would be a physical encounter. I know exactly it would be because it would be an absolute brawl. But will it ever happen? Because we hear that Joe is really extremely close to signing with WWE, and he will be going straight to the NXT brand. So there you are. Samoa Joe said openly he would love to have a match with Brock Lesnar. Who would love to see that match? I would love to see that match. It would be an absolutely brilliant match, so it would be. No question about it. Now, let's get on to some of your questions that we sent out today on our Twitter account asking for some questions. First of all, got one here from Liam Vincent saying about Bad News Barrett, saying, is Barrett ever going to be WWE champion? They dropped the ball on his Bad News podium. The man was over with it. Will he ever be champion? I hope he's champion, Liam. I really do hope he is champion, because we need to finally get a first proper British World Heavyweight Champion. People are saying that Magnus is the first because of TNA. Guys, no offense to TNA, but if you want to be recognized as a proper, big-time World Heavyweight Champion, WWE is the way to go. I'm not being disrespectful to TNA in any way, shape, or form. Magnus, well, you could say, yeah, he is the first British World, but the first proper British WWE Champion. We've had an Irish-born WWE Champion in Sheamus. People have been crying it for a long time. It should have been the British Bulldog. You know, we've had other people come along the lines like William Regal. But is Barrett going to be the first one to do that? I hope so, because I am fed up waiting for a first ever British World Champion in WWE. So, yes, Liam, to answer your question, I do hope he does become, because he is over and the fans like him and he's getting over really, really well. So, yes, I do hope it happens. Thanks for your question, Liam. And I know you tweet us quite a bit on Twitter, so thanks for your tweets. Cody Collar says, why do you think WWE is only letting the network be free for new subscribers lately? The answer to your question, Cody, I was talking with Tony actually on the phone before I come on the show tonight. I was talking to you about your question. The reason why they're giving the new subscribers the network for free is because they're trying to entice people to come in to sign up for the network. It's like when you sign up for Netflix or anywhere, anything like that. They're saying we'll give you a 30-day free trial or stuff like that. They're doing all these free offers to try and encourage people to come in and sign up for the network. You know, people are saying it on one side of the coin, it's desperation to try and get people to sign up. But on the other side of the coin, people are saying, oh, okay, I'll try this out and see what it's like. Especially in the month of February, where WWE gained a lot of subscribers because of that free promo, especially because they were leading into the road to WrestleMania. But to answer your question, Cody, I think they're doing it because they're trying to attract more subscribers to the network and try and get more people to sign up to pay their, the number, $9.99 a month. So there you go. Jenny sent us a wee email today saying, guys, when do you think Roman Reigns will be WWE champion, or will he ever be WWE champion? Jenny, to answer your question, yes, I think Roman Reigns will be WWE champion, but when, I don't know. All I know is that they're going with Seth Rollins at the minute, and I know Catherine's going to be watching back this video, who are head of production. Catherine will not be happy me saying this because she loves her Roman Reigns. But, yes, he will be champion. When, I don't know. I thought he might have got it at Mania, but then they did a lot of twist at the end where Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank. I would love to see him become champion because he's a great worker. He's a big guy. He's a powerhouse. He would be a good, solid champion. But when? Maybe SummerSlam? I don't know. But all I know is at the moment they're going with Rollins being the WWE champion. If he wins it at the next pay-per-view or the next month or two, then brilliant. It'd be great to see. But when's he going to be champion? I don't know. So thanks for your question, Johnny. Guys, I'm going to hit the road here. I hope you enjoy Monday Night Raw tonight because I've done a short and sweet episode here. Here's a few years watching us here on Google Hangout. Thanks very much for doing that. If you're watching the show after the live broadcast here, if you're watching us here on YouTube, please, guys, share it with everybody. And most importantly, hit the subscribe button at the bottom and help the show out by supporting the show by hitting the subscribe button. If you're listening to us on iTunes or on Speaker via our social media feeds or anything out there, please hit the subscribe button on iTunes, which a lot of you have done, and also subscribe to us on Speaker. And please share the word and keep your questions coming and keep everything going. I know it's a short and sweet episode, guys, because it's Monday. I've been away out all day today, as you can probably well see. My face could be a little bit red because of the sunshine, being outdoors all day today. It is the Easter holidays here where I am at the moment, and I've been out spending the day all day with my children, and I'm absolutely exhausted, so I've had to come home here and do a podcast for you guys because we haven't been on the air for a few days. If you want to keep getting in touch with us, you certainly can do it. We'll be talking to you throughout tonight's Raw on Twitter, @Outside the Rope. Also on Facebook, we'll be talking to you on there. And I have been putting good word that hopefully, I'm not giving you a quote because we're still trying to fix the bugs in it. Our website should be up and going this week. It better be, or I think I'm going to cry. There you go. OutsideTheRopesRadio.com. I also want to give a shout out to our friends and partners of the show before I hit the road. You know they are and I are good buddies at Wrestling's Past. Don't forget to check out their website, wrestlingspast.blogspot.co.uk, and on Twitter at Wrestling's Past for all historians of wrestling. Don't forget to check out our friends Wrestling Past. And tonight we hear the PW Pro Wrestling Ulster. I've had a fantastic show in Portadown with Drew McIntyre, or Drew Galloway, whatever you want to call him, on the show. Hope you have to read on Twitter before I come on the air. Their show is going absolutely fantastic. So a big shout out to PW there tonight, as they had a great show today in Portadown here in Northern Ireland. Guys, I'm going to hit the road. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy tonight's Raw. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more, well, try and get you more news as much as I can, as we're still trying to fight our way back into the new studio. So for Matthew here in my home, enjoy tonight's Raw. And I will see you all here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more discussion here on Outside the Ropes.